Hello everyone, welcome back to Believer Science Academy, Bengaluru. This is topic of the day discussion session. In this session, we will be discussing a very important topic, that is denotified tribes. This is very important, especially for students of anthropology optional. So make note of important points which I am going to tell you in present class. So why it is in news? It is in news because the recent classification of denotified, semi-nomadic and nomadic tribes in India by the Anthropological Survey of India and Tribal Research Institutes of India, it explores the historical context, implications and debates surrounding their classification under scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward classes. Okay, so developments, key development in the sense, why it is in news in the sense, that is recently the Anthropological Survey of India and Tribal Research Institutions conducted a 3-year study to classify 268 denotified, semi-nomadic and nomadic tribes into either SC, ST and OBC categories. Okay, of these 268, 179 were recommended for the inclusion in SC, ST or OBC categories, with 85 being classified for the first time. Okay, so this study also identified 63 communities that had assimilated into society and were no longer traceable as denotified or semi-nomadic. So this is the current impact or current study. So we will see what is the impact of this will be. So initially, why was the study needed is the classification of these communities has been an ongoing challenge since the repeal of Criminal Tribes Act of 1949. We will see what is this Criminal Tribes Act and we will see what is this denotification or denotified tribes and all. But before that, we will see the current affairs. Various commissions, including the Lokar Committee and the Mandal Commission, attempted but sadly failed to comprehensively classify all the denotified tribes. Okay, the classify in the sense which tribes to be included in SC, which tribes to be included in SC or OBC and so and so. Activists and experts argue that a complete list of these communities has been lacking, making it difficult to organize their rights and benefits. Okay, so need is to make a complete list of all the denotified tribes. So the potential impact will be many denotified, semi-nomadic and nomadic tribes are closer than ever to official classification, leading to potential debates. Activists in states like UP, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat are questioning whether these groups should be classified under SC, ST or OBC at all, as reservations and benefits are tied to this classification. Okay, in the sense, more the tribes including this SC, ST, OBC, lesser the reservation for SC, ST, OBC communities. So they are questioning whether they should be actually included in this list or not. Okay, some argue for a new separate category in the constitution specifically for the denotified tribes in order to avoid confusion with existing caste based reservations. Okay, so they are asking for a new scheduled group of tribes such as denotified tribes. After SC, ST, OBC, there should be another list which is containing only the category of denotified tribes. So what next? What is going to happen? While the ethnographic study is complete, the final decision lies with the special committee which is headed by Vice Chairperson of Niti Aayog. Okay, so the government's stance will determine if states initiate the classification process and provide benefits accordingly. We have to wait and see how this will turn out. Okay, then who are the denotified tribes? Okay, who are considered as denotified tribes in India? So the denotified tribes refers to the communities that were initially notified as criminal tribes under the British government's Criminal Tribes Act of 1871 by the British, but were later denotified after independence in 1952. Okay, originally notified as a criminal tribes, then they were removed out of the denotified out of these criminal tribes. That is why they are called as denotified tribes. These tribes were historically nomadic and engaged in occupations such as cattle trading, hunting, and craftsmanship. But due to the British stigma attached to these tribes, they also considered these tribes as a criminal tribes. They considered them as habitual offenders. Okay, tribes such as Maler, Paharia, etc., were considered as the tribes which habitually indulge themselves in criminal activities such as theft, murder, etc. So, with the prejudice in mind, they were considered as criminal tribes, meaning people belonging to all the people belonging to a particular tribe were considered as criminal under this Criminal Tribes Act. Okay, so in 1952, the Criminal Tribes Act was repealed, and these tribes were denotified, hence the name Denotified Tribes. However, they continued to face the same stigma and were reclassified under the new act, that is Habitual Offenders Act of 1952. Okay, so the act remained, just the terminology changed, which further marginalized them. Okay, so DNTs include nomadic and semi-nomadic tribes spread across different states of India. Okay, so the historical background is we already discussed. Labeled them as nomadic and semi-nomadic as criminal tribes due to their mobility and traditional occupations. Act was repealed. DNT still face the social discrimination. So post-independence, there have been many commissions which aim to provide better conditions for these tribes, and in the result, there are many commissions which were appointed to study on these tribes. First one is Lokur Committee, which recommended classification of DNTs under the scheduled caste or scheduled tribes, so that they can get benefits of reservation and that stigmatization of habitual offenders can be reduced from these tribes. Then Mandal Commission, the famous Mandal Commission, identified many DNTs as other backward classes. Okay, instead of SCs or STs, they can be included in other backward classes. Renke Commission, it founded that DNTs faced worse conditions than the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, and they should be provided with certain benefits from the reservation. And in 2017, Idate Commission, it recommended for a separate category of DNTs and emphasized economic and educational upliftment of the DNTs. Okay, so these DNTs are mainly involved in the activities such as juggling or circus, etc. So many, like Idate Commission also recommended that the activities such as juggling or singing, etc. can be promoted so that they can also have livelihood benefits. Okay, so the current status and the initiatives from the government are: current status is categorization, that is the recent news anthropological survey. Some DNTs are classified under SC, ST or OBC, while others remain unclassified. The recent efforts aim to classify 268 denotified nomadic and semi-nomadic tribes for the first time. So there are developmental measures from the government as well, such as SEED scheme, that is Scheme for Economic and Empowerment of Denotified Tribes of 2022. It provides scholarships, skill development and livelihood support. 200 crore budget allocation for 5 years. And the Niti Aayog, it has a special committee in finalizing classification for the benefits. So the final authority in classification of DNTs lies with Niti Aayog. And there is a demand for separate category from the DNTs. There are activists who argue for a separate, distinct constitutional category to avoid conflict with SC, ST, OBC reservations. And but there are certain challenges faced by denotified, that is the social stigma attached to it, that is continued association with the historical criminal labeling or the habitual offenders labeling, lack of representation. Many DNTs are not classified in any reservation category. As a result, they are not getting many benefits from the government welfare schemes. And economic backwardness, since they are nomadic and semi-nomadic, they have high poverty rates, lack of education and dependence on the traditional occupations. And finally, legal discrimination, that is the Habitual Offenders Act still affects them in certain cases in some states. Okay, as the very nature or the very name of Habitual Offenders Act is kind of discriminatory in nature. This is taken disadvantage by the police in many cases. So way forward, there should be uniform classification. They should either be classified under SC ST or created a new category. There should be legal reforms. The Yadati Commission also recommended that the Habitual Offenders Act, which is outdated, should be repealed. Inclusion in welfare schemes, that is, they should be ensured benefits under the PM Awas Yojana, Narega, and scholarships, so that they can get livelihood benefits. And there should also be awareness and sensitization, that is public awareness, so that they are removed from the stigma and discrimination. So this is the important topic. So very important, especially for students with anthropology, and important for people who are attending the interview as well. So make notes of the points which I told you. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, comment on the video, and also share with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and comment on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind.